There is no answer right now for Jacob Misiorowsk and the Milwaukee Brewers. What's up, everybody? Welcome into Bad for Baseball. I'm your host, Nicholas Playlog, joined alongside Adam Peddle. Today, we are going to talk about just the absurd stuff that we are seeing coming out of Milwaukee. We're going to spend a long time talking about Jacob Miz and just discussing whether he is actually the new face of pitching in baseball, because what he has been doing has been ridiculous. But, of course, we can't just speak about him. We've also got to talk about the team that is surrounding him, the team that seems to always find a way to win. Going over to the standings, I remember when we were doing our season previews, we went through the odds of every division and everything like that. The Milwaukee Brewers, they were not the favorite to win that division. It was the Cubs, and then they were like, I think you could have got them at something like it was like a +4 or +500.
Yeah, something stupid
to win the division. You know,
for the team that had the most wins in MLB last year.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's dumb, and every single year we're learning our lesson, ladies and gentlemen. Do not underrate the Milwaukee Brewers. All the FanGraphs projections too on all their players and their entire team as a whole always has them under a certain win total.
It's bullshit.
That's like you're not making playoffs, and it's honestly because they always bring up a bunch of guys that never have kind of done it or proven it before. Then they go and they prove it because of that great pitching staff or the pitching coaches and their manager and everything like that. Their development team, their scouting, they find these guys and turn them into studs, and they over project their projections. So there they are on top of the NL Central.
The +119 run differential.
And it's different this year because they're actually scoring a lot of runs.
Yeah.
Whereas it was always the pitching, and now they're actually scoring a lot of runs. When you look at their hitting, they're ranked third in baseball in runs scored. That's terrifying. With a Milwaukee Brewer team that's also third in starting pitcher ERA, ninth in relief pitcher ERA, pair that up with the top three offense, this is a threat.
Yeah, actually, all of those numbers to me, that screams, hey, we could actually make a run. We could actually genuinely make a run. It's going to be very difficult in the National League because, obviously, there's the Dodgers and there's the Braves who are very good. The Phillies are turning it around, too. There's a lot of really, really good teams right there, but Milwaukee has the pieces to go get it done. And I'll tell you what, come playoff time, when it is game one, I'm going to bet on Milwaukee because there's not a single other pitcher that I would rather see on the bump for my team right now than Jacob Misiorowsk. Flashing over to his Baseball Savant page, holy mother of God, it is ridiculous, folks. The guy's got a 1.45 ERA. That is over how many innings? 93 innings with 138 strikeouts. Everybody keeps thinking that his arm is going to fall off, and maybe one day it will. It's definitely possible that could happen one day. But whilst it is still firmly attached to his body, watching the 93-mile-per-hour slider come in and just this is unheard of stuff. 93
slider, 96 cutter, 87 curveball, and then a 92 changeup with, of course, an average of 100.2 mile-per-hour fastballs.
And when he really wants to, he can get it up to 104.
Well, he can, and he got up to 105 as well. He had a one outing where he threw a Maddox, by the way, which is a shutout, a complete game shutout that's under 100 pitches, and within that game he also threw a pitch that was 105 and broke all of MLB, literally. So yeah, Jacob Misiorowsk is the guy. Now the question I want to throw to you: is he right now potentially the best pitcher baseball, the youngest and best pitcher baseball? Because there's also Paul Skenes, who is pretty good, but not as good as this guy this year.
I'll tell you what, man. For me, yes. I know the Paul Skenes, there's a couple guys out there that have done it for a bit longer, right? And Paul Skenes has certainly been a bit more proven. And this is, Jacob Misiorowsk had the stuff last year, but it's now it's really fully, we knew that he was going to be very good. We didn't know he was going to be this good, but he's now has the command with all of his stuff as well. And as far as I'm concerned, Paul Skenes is incredible. He's got crazy stuff too. But a 93 mile per hour slider, that's unheard of for me. Yeah. And I don't know, when that guy is locating, like when he is dotting his 103 and then following that up with an 88 curve to then go to the like
it's just stupid.
I don't know how you could possibly ever hit that.
No, because the hitters are trying to gear up for 102, 103, and then you drop an 88 curve and you're way out in front. Even if the fastball is if that fastball's above the zone and it's like 102, like I'm still gearing up. So once I see heater and I know the seams aren't spinning and I know it's a heater, even if it's not a good pitch, feel like my body still wants to commit to it, and that's what makes them so deceptive, is because if you want to hit the fastball, you got to get ready early and almost start your swing before the pitch is even thrown at you. You almost got to start going even earlier. Like, it's so effing hard. So I'm with you right now. Jacob Misiorowsk is the best pitcher in all of baseball, which is crazy because we thought it was going to be Paul Skenes.
Well,
right?
Listen, it still is. Paul Skenes is still awesome. Like, he's having a down year for his standards, but again, a down year is still a Cy Young year for anyone else. Like, it's really, really good. Paul Skenes is awesome. There's not a single person on planet Earth that has better stuff right now than Jacob Mis. And for me, like, Jacob Mis, as long as he is in and around the strike zone, he's going to be impossible to hit. Like, the only way that this guy falls off is if he starts losing command and like his stuff. You can take his stuff, because if you're forced to actually try to hit his stuff, you're not going to be able to. So as long as he's like close enough to the zone that he's forcing you to do that, you lose, game over, he wins. And that is why, right now, for me, he is the best pitcher in all of baseball.
Both 24 years old, by the way, so we're going to see these two arms go at it in the NL Central for quite a long time. A lot
of really good young pitching in baseball.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Well, let's continue and talk about the Milwaukee Brewers, who are in the NL Central, and let's focus on the other part of their team, which is the offense. We talked about them just a little bit. I mean, they're right now popping off, and the guys that are doing it are Jackson Chourio, Yelich is, even though he's not having an explosive year, still a good year and serviceable year. Turang, World Baseball Classic stud, Team USA, he's in there. Contreras is always great. This guy, Jake Bauers, this is what always makes offenses like go from being a good offense to a great offense, is when you get guys like Jake Bauers popping off out of nowhere. He's got an 868 OPS, the second highest OPS on the team among qualified hitters, and like he's great. Like, he's been kind of bouncing around, never had a really great year, and ever since coming to Milwaukee, slowly getting better, and then bam, this year 13 homers with an explosive OPS.
Yeah, that offense looks, and it looks deep too. Deep. Like I think that's like that. I think about as we're Jays fans here, right? Like it's honestly like a similar looking offense to the Toronto Blue Jays, but they just have like multiple 800 OPS.
Right.
Whereas like we don't, right? but their depth doesn't fall off. It's not like they have 3 800 guys and then nobody after that. No, they still have Yelich, and they still have Contreras, and they still have Garrett Mitchell, and they still have Cooper Pratt down there as well. And then they still have on the bench Andrew Vaughn, and even their backup catcher Gary Sanchez doing, right? So it's like the depth there is awesome. And let me tell you, as a Bryce Turang fantasy owner, it has been awesome for me, man. His OPS I think is 820 something right now, but the stolen bases, like the production from that guy has been, whenever they need a big hit, he does it, and it's production, and he's stealing and he's hitting homers. Like, this team, everybody in it is contributing so much. I like them. I think this is the best chance that they're going to have. We're halfway through the season. We'll see if things develop. But this is the best chance that they're going to have to potentially knock off the Dodgers this year.
Yeah, it is. The offense has got to keep offensing, right? Because whenever Jacob Misiorowski's on the bump, like, congratulations, you won the game.
You should win.
You won the game. Even Kyle Harrison, too, like, he's having a great year. Like, you should win that game, too. After that, the pitching staff, or at least the starting rotation, starts to get a little bit thin. Like, they got some guys with a 4.5 ERA, almost a 6. And then, Shane's got like a 3.4, not too bad in 47 innings. But, like, as long as the offense is doing great and is like bailing them out of any situation, then like that's how you're gonna win ball games. Like,
well, I'd like to see them, because the guys right there that are the bottom 3, those are all prospects, and that's exciting for, like, I assume that one day those are gonna be Jacob Misiorowski's in their own right,
or some
some form of it, right? Because for whatever, like, Milwaukee always develops the best pitchers, they just always do, and I wouldn't be shocked if we see that again.
Yo, look at the service time actually on all 5 of those guys. Only 2 of them have been in the league for a year.
Literally, yeah, like it's all young. And correct me if I'm wrong, is Brandon Woodruff, is he injured right now?
Woodruff is injured, yes.
Okay, so he's injured right now, so hopefully he'll come back at, sometime relatively soon for them. But I would like to see them go out and trade for a pitcher at the deadline.
Please.
And it doesn't need to be like, because, they'll probably never be in the market for one of the big names. Like, they're not going to get Skubal, and, they probably wouldn't even get the follow-up guys after that either. Like, I don't know if they'd have what it takes to go out and get Sandy, and I don't know if they'd have what it takes to go out and get somebody of that caliber, but I don't think it needs to be, because Milwaukee's the type of team that I could wholeheartedly, fully buy in and believe that they could go out and they could trade for. First name that comes to my brain right now. They could trade for somebody like a fucking Jose Quintana and then turn him into.
He used to play for them at one point.
Maybe that's why he came to my head. But like they could trade for somebody like that who doesn't feel like the big needle mover, but they turn him into the needle mover.
Just some depth. And, yeah, exactly. We're hoping that they finally can buy in at a deadline, man. Like every year. They like never buy in. They just never buy in. And it's like, please, for the love of God, like do something. And the reason why they never buy in is because they've built this philosophy that is like, we don't want to trade any of our prospects because we know we're going to turn them into studs.
So, and you know what? If I knew that prospect was going to turn into Jacob Misiorowsk, then yeah, I wouldn't want to trade him either.
So and it's just, again, like, please just like get some depth. Like, we're not trying to say like trade away all your top prospects, but like add a little bit of depth, because when I'm thinking about maybe game 3 or 4, and yes, these are young guys and they could be good one day, but like if they haven't reached that pinnacle yet, then up against the Dodgers in a game 3 or game 4 of a playoff game, it's gonna be very, very, very tough. But yeah, I mean, this is the Milwaukee way, man. Every single year they do it. I want to bring this up just to kind of add a pin or a little bow on this conversation. They do it every single year. When you really look back at the Milwaukee Brewers last year, 97 wins, 93 the year before that, 92, 86, 95. Ignore 2020, 86, 96, 86. Like, they're always a winning ball team, and we should never be sleeping on them.
That's true, yeah. Like, legitimately, for the last decade, I mean, they had one bad year. It was 2020, but it's 2020. Yeah. They were 29-31, right? So it's like that's just a weird one. Yeah, like they haven't really had a bad year in the last decade.
No,
like they've always been, like we're gonna win 90 games, and we're gonna, and we've seen so much turnover from them. Like we've seen Yelich win MVPs and then be terrible, and we've seen them trade Corbin Burns, and we've seen Brandon Woodruff go from being incredible to Josh Hader leaving and Freddie Peralta leaving. Like, we've seen all this turnover, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Why can't other teams do this philosophy, man? Why can't other teams develop players like these guys?
How do they do it?
I don't know.
I'm not sure, right? Is it and then the question becomes, are you developing them the best, or are you scouting them the best?
Could be both. It could be
right?
both.
Because you know what I mean? Maybe their scouting is just off the hook, and they know before anyone else knows. They're like, that guy is going to do it.
Yeah, hey, well, if you're a Milwaukee Brewer fan, we know we don't get a lot of views on these videos when we talk about you guys, but we're thinking about you guys, and we want to shout you out. You guys got a very damn good ball team, and I wish I was a fan of you guys, because you guys do it every year, and you do it with new guys, which is very exciting.
Yeah, but folks, let us know your thoughts about all this in the comments down below. Hit the like, smash the subscribe button, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers.